The Whispering Ranch. Amber and Jake, filled with the dreams and aspirations of young love, had just taken the biggest step of their relationship, purchasing an old ranch nestled in the outskirts of Arizona. The expansive property was surprisingly affordable, and they thought they'd snagged the deal of a lifetime. The first week was dreamlike. They renovated the old barn, went horse riding, and reveled in their isolation. Yet, every now and then, Amber would notice Jake staring off into the desert, a distant look in his eyes, as though he were hearing a song she couldn't. Local legend spoke of skinwalkers, shapeshifters that could mimic the appearance and voice of any person or creature. Skeptical of such tales, the couple paid little heed, even laughing them off over dinner. One night, a week into their stay, a gut-wrenching scream echoed across the desert. Bolting upright in their bed, Amber clung to Jake. The cries continued, sounding eerily like a woman's voice pleading for help. Jake decided to investigate, grabbing his flashlight and rifle. Amber protested, but Jake, ever the protector, insisted. "Lock the doors behind me," he whispered, kissing her forehead. Hours passed and Jake didn't return. Amber, worried sick, was about to venture out when she heard his familiar knock. She opened the door to find Jake, his clothes torn, face dirtied, but his eyes cold, distant. "I couldn't find anything," he mumbled, brushing past her. From that night on, things changed. Jake became increasingly distant. He would often wander the desert at night, returning just before dawn. Sometimes Amber would hear him whispering in a language she didn't recognize. One evening, while Jake was out on one of his mysterious excursions, a knock echoed through the house. Opening the door, Amber found an old Navajo woman. Her eyes, filled with concern, darted past Amber as if searching for something or someone. "You must leave," the woman whispered urgently. "The land you are on is cursed. The skinwalkers roam here, seeking to take over bodies and souls." Amber, shivering, shared her concerns about Jake's recent behavior. The woman's face paled. "If he's been taken by a skinwalker, there's only one way to know for sure. The creature can mimic everything except for one thing, its eyes. In the eyes you'll see a void, a darkness unlike any human." That night, as Jake lay beside her, Amber mustered the courage to look into his eyes. What she saw paralyzed her with terror. They weren't the warm, loving eyes she knew. They were dark, empty voids. Heart-pounding, she quietly left the bed and sneaked into the living room, contemplating her next move. That's when she heard it. A soft thud from the barn, followed by a familiar voice, Jake's voice. Curiosity overpowering her fear, Amber tiptoed to the barn. Pushing the door ajar, she was met with a sight that would haunt her forever. Trapped in a cage was Jake, beaten and bound, but very much alive. The skinwalker had been keeping him alive, mimicking his appearance and studying him to perfect its disguise. Amber freed Jake, and they fled the ranch that very night. The old Navajo woman, having heard of their escape, helped them find a safer place far away from the cursed land. However, the trauma left them with a haunting lesson, that sometimes the most familiar faces can hide the darkest of secrets. If you dare to delve deeper into the shadows with us, be sure to subscribe to Chronicles of the Crypt for more spine-chilling tales from the unknown. Until next time, sleep with one eye open.